I think we're good to go, I think. Alright, there you go. Alrighty, welcome everybody to another Byaku video. Whoa! I know it's not really that different in case of timing. However, I'm my whole family's been sick, including myself, but now really recovering, and that's really a good thing. Because now I can chat with y'all once again. And yeah, and I've been like rewatching my videos, and I know I was gonna say, "Oh my God, you watch your old videos. What's next? You're gonna suck your own snob." Come on, man. But yeah, I've been rewatching some of my videos, even the earlier ones, and I'm like, man, I feel like only the first two videos were fine, and then the rest was like very depressing. I don't know. I can get too real with y'all. I think I should really be much more calculated when I do share my life in general. But without further ado, once again, really glad to be back. There is something I really want to talk about today. Um, but but before that, I just want to ask how y'all doing. Hope everything is fine. And if anyone is new to my channel, once again, I make these videos to be something to be relaxing of. Think of this as like a self-contained podcast, where I chat with y'all, and I'm just here imagining on what anyone is thinking. So and replying. So yeah, that is the rule for today. Yeah. So just a little bit of an update. I guess I just recently got really addicted to Instagram. Um you know what? I'll be really frank with y'all. At one point I deleted Twitter, and out of like very like personal reasons why, right? I deleted Twitter for big personal reasons, and I just felt like, man, I just like the first 3 days was like very difficult, and then just like a resurgence at some point where like, oh man, the feeling is stronger again. Like at one point you've already like mastered the ability to not really check Twitter in Google Play because you've deleted it, right? But then multiple occasions you do go back to be like, man, I couldn't wait before I continue what I need to check if I'm recording my audio. Oh, and if any of you are listening, something is in the background. I'm listening to One Piece right now. Yeah, but this I think the One Piece background would be something to do with what I really wanted to talk about, but it's okay. The thing I'm watching, it has something to do with like uh it has nothing to do with spoilers. It's because they are just reacting, and they're going to give much more of a general response. I don't think it's going to be that loud, and I don't think my microphone's going to pick up what's going on over there. So if like it's all good. Once again, I do recommend everyone to read One Piece because it's really amazing. But yeah, but again, going back to Instagram, yeah, I don't know. It's just that it's kind of like your ex in a way where you you broke up with them, right? You've broke up with your ex, but you just can't help can't help, you know I can't help but just check every now and then. Yeah, and it's so bad, like it's tough, man. But yeah, I reinstalled it at one point, and I've gone back to my old hobbies. I Back when I was a little kid, I did two things that are like very, you could say, when I was a young lad, it wasn't, you could say, manly. The manly thing you would do back then is like, what, do martial arts or do sports, right? But I'm feeling that's like much more, that's very general to everybody. But like in my area, it's either you do silat, yeah, or you either do silat or you do football, right, which is soccer for Americans, right? And I can't do soccer. I could play the game and I know how it works, but to rely on me with scores or like some epic plays, I strongly apologize if that were to be the case. If you were to really rely on me when it comes to making good gameplays, I don't feel like I'm the guy. Yeah, but I was um as I was doing martial arts, it did felt like I didn't really fall in love with it just yet. I feel like I only get in touch back with my love for martial arts when I get in back to uni, right? And that is because when I'm into uni, I meet with this one Filipino mate. He's such a good lad, and he's so expressive. Like, he is very artistic, right? He is basically me, but like very talented and just like very hardworking. Like, honestly, this man, this beautiful of a man, I'm just like, gosh, goodness gracious, like, how could anyone, you know, not like you? how could how could anyone not how could anyone just like hate you? That's so tough. It's like like you're so cool, and you're when you're passionate, you're very expressive. So I really love that. I really love that. And yeah, that's how my fighting spirit brews back. It was always there. It's just that the issue was is that I had nobodies to play to not okay, not play with, but to practice with, because again, when you're doing martial arts, yeah, you can do shadow boxing. You could, and yes, I count boxing as a martial. It's an art. I think all of us should agree it's an art. Yeah. When you do shadow boxing, when you do any sort of your martial arts that you so happen to practice, right? Like, it always goes back to, okay, but then how could you practice this? How could you know if you're doing the right things, right? And I feel like with having a partner, two partners, right, you're able to test how far you've gotten. And yeah, that's how I like, just testing your progression with your mate. You're both learning at the same time, really, so no one's really losing. So yeah, I really like that aspect. Yeah, but yeah, that was but back then, besides martial arts, right, because to be fair, back then it wasn't really a love, it was much more of a quick passion. Like, for me, watching TV and martial arts were no different things. I like them, but I'm not really like that passionate into it. But what got me really passionate was drawing. Was drawing and man, was drawing and doing poems. I really love doing drawing and poems. Yeah, and I know, oh, you say poems, but like you're thinking like 5 billion years. Well, it's because it's been what since I've done it, and correlating to my Instagram, I posted a few poems every now and then, right? And they're very battalic, right? It's so battle related, but it's for me. I always look at life as a battle. I look at life as a battle. It's because you're always in constant combat with yourself and with whatever adversities, obstacles, or rivalry that you'll encounter in your life. Uh, and I as much as how gruesome and ugly fighting can be, I do feel like there is some sort of like that silver lining beauty that it exists. And it's hard to express because like you think that with having a lot of like chaos and battles, it's like, okay, this is so, this is just too violent, this is just too crazy. But something about like, you know like a collected battle that's happening is just like insane. So I I I don't know, I find it to be very beautiful, and I try to express that in a way in different, you could say, simulations, right, on, or like the perspective of a certain warrior, certain battalion, right? That's what I really wanted to express when I write and create. And I remember writing this poem, and I can tell a lot didn't really understood. They thought, oh, it's pretty cool. I guess you wrote it from a certain movie. You referenced it from a certain movie. No, I said I didn't. It's literally from myself. I didn't requote it, nor I referenced this from somewhere else. So no, I literally wrote this from the heart, right? And I feel like the reason why they say that is because I feel like maybe the imagery that I give my poems to other people could be like something that's like, oh, this is so like copy pasta is, right? Because like I don't think I'm the type of people. I'm not the type of. I'm not like, if this was like Doki Doki Literature Club, I'm not like Yuri. I'm not like Yuri. Yeah, I'm not like Yuri, the purple hair girl. Basically, I'm not like her in a sense of like complexity and like having like deeper meaning in a certain word. I'm more about like something that's simple, right? But being expressed in a general term, right? Because for me, if I'm able to express something simple, but then at the same time leaving things to interpretation, I really love that. And I know sometimes complex narratives, complex imagery do help with that not intercept that interpret the interpreting cog, right? And I understand that, but my issues I'm such a amateur at writing, so but then that never stopped me writing what I wanted to write. So I always get in touch with writing with the way I know how. So that's what I did with my Instagram. Thing is, when I post anything on Instagram, be it my picture or be it a picture that I like, an art that I like, um you could say I feel a bit like shy. I feel a little bit shy. It's because I'm scared. You know, I, I'm I'm scared on like what the people are gonna think, right? I'm scared of what the people are gonna think, because I don't want them to think that, oh, I'm like this like show off guy, or I'm too over my head, or like, oh, I think I know it all, but in reality I don't, and that is definitely the fact, right? But I just want to say that uh when I'm very proud at something, I do really want to show it, right? Be it my progress in case of like my physical, you could say my uh, uh, how do I say this? Like my physical achievements or like my artistic achievements or something like that. And I'm not to say that I'm very artistic, but there are times where I feel like, oh man, I struck gold, and I want to share it to everybody so that maybe y'all could be inspired. Not to say I want to be like very inspiring, but I do want to show like how things can be very beautiful and melancholic, so to say, like, um, and no, my poem in my Instagram wasn't melancholic, but yeah, I don't know. I just love to see some you could say some like correct interpretations. I love when I write something, right. It becomes some sort of a game. It becomes some sort of a game where like, I can see a lot of people like I guess and do some trial and error. Oh, I think he's talking about this. Oh, I think he's talking about this. And then when it's correct, I'll tell them. Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah, I'm so happy about that. Um, for me, that is what I'm going to achieve right now when it comes to like doing my Instagram, because like I don't know, I just find I don't know, this is kind of like a fun hobby. Trying to see what they think of a certain something, and yeah, I yeah, that has been like some sort of, I mean, it's not like I'm doing it like constantly, but I have done it before, and I've gotten like very cool feedbacks, and I'm doing it once again, and like the gap between the previous one and now is like very far, like what, 7 months. And thinking of a nice poem is hard, because for me, writing a poem, right, or writing a piece, right, because I don't know if I'm really writing a true poem, because like I like to write something where the imagery is very clear, but at the same time, because I make it as general, right, but not too general, I can get like multiple iterations. So that's always been very fun. That's always been very fun for me, and again, like it's sort of like a game, I want to see if anyone could really get it, and then once people do, I'll be like, hey, you got it, So uh, that is what I've been like, being like a nonsensical boy at. Yes, but that's like within the Instagram side of things. But yeah, um, I guess some people call me very feminine, is because like, oh, I like writing poems. Oh yeah, and like, not to mention, I was that kid that I would write diaries, but I don't really write diaries. I call it captain's log. But yeah, captain's log and diary, nothing different. Yeah, so um yeah, and hey, lads, if any of you were to do diaries or whatever, right? Hey, go the distance, you know. Sometimes when you look back, yo, right? Because I look back at my old stuff, I'm like, yo, you know what? Pat in the back. I feel like I did something. I feel like I did something productive. I think. I feel right. Yeah. And hey, it's always good to look back at your records of achievements and what you've accomplished over the years. And I feel like getting to know how incrementally you're getting better, you're growing, you're maturing. Right? It's just amazing, really. And that's that. But the main topic I really want to talk about today in this video is just a very short one, right? Is about like watching anime, right? And this is not like watching like how to watch anime, but it's about you. I would say how the community perceives you to watch an anime, right? Now, if anyone were to watch my otaku's journey, right? And for those of you who haven't, I encourage. And if y'all like no, and I'm like, oh, okay, right? But like, but of course, you'll get more context if you watch the first video. But what I'm trying to say is that now that you're in your journey, right? You've got all the toolkits, you're good to go and everything. But now the issue is it's like you having that responsibility to get to know everything that's happening within the community. Because at the end of the day, what's also fun about being in the anime stratosphere is also having those like live conversations. I feel like Shirobako, the anime of Shirobako, I don't know which episode it was, but there is that one quote that the main with the main character or the side characters. I can't really remember in specifics, but I really love the anime. I really recommend that. Watch it at your own pace, and I emphasize own pace, which and I'll get into that. Is that when you watch an anime, especially particularly TV and like it's like live broadcast, right? It really feels like just because the whole world isn't sitting down simultaneously, but to know that there's like a certain like numerous few like couple of hundreds, couple of thousands, couple of hundred thousands are watching with you, it hits different. It's kind of like watching a movie, right? It's kind of like watching a movie. Like, yeah, sure, there's different like times to watch it, right? Different segments that you could come into and watch it. There is a different feel when you watch a movie, and like when you complete it together. There is that sense of like, oh, we've did it. We walked through this journey together, which is why I love very adventurous movies. And I know that kind of goes beyond me because I love slice of life, and slice of life occasionally has adventures. They don't really. It's not like always. It's like sometimes you may have adventures and sometimes you don't. And I feel like I think K-On does touch on some like adventure esque tropes, but not really what it is, if that makes sense. So it has like those aspects, but it's not really correlated to what adventure is, right? But of course, this is about music. It's not an adventure club, like tabideru bukatsu. Like, no, that's not it. But but yeah, uh but I love those things because again, like when you accomplish something and it's when it's like a certain epic that you're watching, it's just like, oh man, it's just like, wow, you're it's like kind of climbing up a mountain. Because I've climbed a mountain before, and like it's so not achieving, like it's so rewarding. It's so rewarding, and just like, ah man, you just feel so, ah man, glorious days on when you reach to the top, and that this ain't just you, this was a collective achievement. And I feel like celebrating that, there is no wrong about that. So I honestly want want that to people. However, because of how drunken this may be and how addictive it is, it comes to a point, especially with how anime is nowadays, because we have to remember what Shirobako was adapted was so traditional still, like the concept of internet, the concept of like the voices of the people around the world, very like um active and telling what's up. within the web wasn't really a thing. It was still fresh. It was existent, but it wasn't to the point of massive produce. So so to say like the issues of having like other people from Japan or other people from the domestic publishers, or what like the the focus audience was it like of course it wasn't really there, but now with that being a factor, things have not like, right now there's a lot of things that are different. There's a lot of things that are different because like there are other things that you should worry about, like okay, which one is the talk of the town, which one is like the dark horse, which one it may not be the one that people are talking about, but this is something that shouldn't be shunned, shouldn't be under the rug. You want to share this with the people, right? And it's tough, really. It's tough because you want everyone to talk this with you. You really want to share this with everyone, but like it's tough, because right now anime. I mean, just this topic is so big, so because of this drunken state, I might just make a part two of this in the future. We'll see. It comes to a point where you're just like you're sunk into this drunken state, and it's to the point that the only way for you to satisfy is no longer because of you. It's because of you trying to satisfy on how the people are going to talk with you. At that point, it's no longer what you want. It's about what you want for others. And for me, the moment where you think like that is where you have severed your connection with anime, and you are connecting yourself with the anime community. There's a two difference, right? So at that point, the love has switched, right? Again, part of the love of anime has always been, one of the factors is about the community, and we've talked about this in anime's journey. It's also about, the people, the community. But when that gets too exciting, when that gets too enticing, where's the limit? And I'm here to tell all of you that. I'm not gonna be shy telling people like, oh, apparently some of my like people who watch me, like 6 year old, 10 years old, I don't mind that, because the thing is, no matter how young you guys are, no matter how young my my audience is, it doesn't negate the fact that sooner or later, as you're growing up, this wouldn't be a habitual thing. This wouldn't be something that you would build as a behavior to actually make people, the main goal as like, because of them, I want to reach their satisfied wants. No, all right. Let me break this down. And I'm not my channel is not about like preaching, but it's like giving a warning. I'm giving this warning because of this stress, and because of how, because again, it's in Japanese, it's called hyori ittai. It's hyori ittai. It's because on one hand, right, it's nice, it's good, it's warm, right. But then the other is very rigorous. It's very rigorous. It's very, you know, it's so chaotic, because you're also trying to keep up. When watching an anime, it's kind of like a tournament. No one's here going to go on your pace, and no one's going to be as fast as you, and vice versa, you're not going to be as fast as them. So everyone's pace is so unique to each other. So again, to really try to keep up with everything, and having this thing in mind on satisfying not the anime love, but the anime community's love, would be definitely impossible. And I know maybe one of the problem is that, oh, you know you want to support these animes, right? You want to support these animes because you have, you're in your journey to the point where you understand how these companies, and how they manage to produce an anime with as much love as they conveyed and worked hard on, but the fact lies that you're only a human, and you can only do so much. I'm not trying to underestimate you. I'm just saying that if you were to risk this, you could say, this selfless mindset, and again, we're talking about selfless, and it's also connected with the anime community. You're not gonna gain anything. You're catching a high that just so happens to be existent, but not the whole encompassed thing that was there initially. People, I mean, there's multiple reasons why people start watching anime, but I feel like I think it's a shared understanding that one of the reasons why you liked the anime, because you were enticed by the style. You love how the story is, and it just so happened because the community can be quite discreet and very, you could say, underground, right? To share that love, and to reciprocate, to get the reciprocated response must be amazing. And I honestly understand that. And again, going back to the old conversation with pacing, which we've emphasized minutes ago, and I'm so sorry for getting back to that word. Watch it, please. Watch at your own pace. Because again, like right now, I'm watching like an analysis of One Piece, and to be fair, I kind of watched it after my breakup. You know, watching One Piece, I actually thought was impossible up until when I hear Connor from Trash Taste or Sea Dog V. Hey, check him out. He has like less subscribers than I am, and he deserves your help. I'm just kidding, And hey, man, God bless that man, love that man. But like, wait, I kind of lose my train of thought. これはやばいですね。Yeah, and I remember the reason why I really watch One Piece. It was because Sea Dog VA said this. Because I remember watching the 100th episode of Trash Days, and he said this. He said, does it surprise you? I mean, I'm verbosing at this point. He said, does it surprise you that you're able to reach 100 episodes of Trash Taste, yet some of you have yet to start One Piece? And that kind of like impresses me, because like I was there during the beginning. I was there during the beginning of Trash Taste. I love Trash Taste and everything, but when I think about it, I'm like, oh, like I have been watching hours upon hours, like literally over 200 hours, because maybe more than that, because like some of their podcasts are 3 hours. Them talking nonsense. But I'm okay with that. But then I can't read one of the greatest of all time, the goats of manga, One Piece and Berserk? Get out of here. I've started reading Berserk. I've started reading One Piece. I'm gonna start Vagabond quite soon. It's just, oh my god, it was possible. And hey, I'm gonna say here, boys, I'm up to date with One Piece. God bless. And the latest chapter is kind of sussy, man. Like, come on, let's not talk about the Kurozumi clan getting burned. The Kurozumi had nothing wrong, right? But that is understandable, because like with their reputation and everything, I just didn't like how it felt like they were being very ignorant. Like it was such an open. Oh, I don't know. I mean, we could talk about One Piece on another day, but all in all, what I'm trying to say is that, when I watched that, it felt impossible. But then when you really took it in, and you take things slowly, you can take it from a guy that's actually superbly lazy. I don't really like action, but I was able to complete One Piece. I was able to complete One Piece, and if I can, so can you. So honestly, like, what's there? Wait, hold on. Like, what's there to hold you back? So again, watch it at your own pace. Like when I was reading One Piece, I read in a day 10 chapters, sometimes 5, sometimes 3. But in 3 months time, I was able to caught up to date with the manga, and also caught up to date with the anime. Well, I didn't really watch all the anime. I only watched the Wano arc. but it's over 100 episodes, and I was still able to keep up to date. So honestly, again, if a loser like me can do it, how about y'all? So yeah, that's basically it. Again, please don't let the anime community push you to watch a lot of anime. I get it. Your love and your appreciation and your and you're devoted and you want to show your appreciation and love to said anime as best as you could. And I honestly respect that. My only advice is that don't let your limits to be ignored, and you're just chasing what the people want from you, because other people won't be satisfied you know for what you can. They just want for what they deem to be good and nice. You should do what you find to be okay, and that is very cliche. I understand that, but it's these simple things that people find to be very difficult. So um yeah, I guess that's it for me. I guess I could call this the end, the end and the start of a beginning for the otaku's journey. Yeah. I know it's been like a few days, but it felt like forever. Like I think I'm quite narcissistic. But yeah, I do content because I know some people don't really do this content, and I just like a one-on-one chat with the lads. Y'all are my lads. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed this self podcast, and yeah, do post in the comments whatever you guys think about, and if there's any ideas that y'all have, do post them in the link, not in the link description. My goodness, like in the comments, and hell yeah, have a nice day. Have a nice day indeed. And with that, your boy signing out. Bye.